Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome to Knowledge TV. If you are new with the channel, please subscribe the channels and click the bell icon for more videos. Today we will discuss linguistic concept, that's competence and performance. Before this video you must watch Lang and Ferrol, which I made before this video. This is the similar concept with Lang and Ferrol. But competence and performance concept was given by Naom Chomsky. Naom Chomsky is considered the father of linguistics. Linguistic competence is a system of linguistic knowledge possessed by a native speaker of a language. It is a system which we discussed at length in the length that it is a system that is naturally built in the mind. It is a contrast to the concept of linguistic performance, the way the language system is used in communication. The concept was first introduced by Naom Chomsky as part of the foundation for his generative grammar, but it has since been adopted and developed by other linguists, particularly those working in the generativist tradition. In the generativist tradition, competence is the only level of language that is studied because this level gives insight into the universal grammar that generativists see as underlying all human language systems. Functional theories of grammar tend to dismiss the sharp distinction between competence and performance, and particularly the primacy given to study of competence. According to Chomsky, competence is the ideal language system that makes it possible for the speaker to produce and understand an infinite number of sentences in their language, and to distinguish grammatical sentences from the ungrammatical sentences. This is unaffected by the grammatical irrelevant conditions such as speech error. Linguistic theory is concerned primarily with an ideal speaker-listener in a completely homogeneous speech community who knows it. The speech community language perfectly is unaffected by such grammatically irrelevant conditions as memory, limitations, distraction, shapes of attentions, and interest and errors random are characteristic. In applying his knowledge of this language and actual performance, Chomsky 1965, this is quoted from his book. Chomsky differentiates competence, which is an idealized capacity, from performance, being the production of actual utterances. According to him, competence is the ideal speaker here acknowledged of his/her language, and it is the mental reality which is responsible for all those aspects of language which can be characterized as linguistic. Chomsky argued that only under an idealized situations where the speaker here is unaffected by grammatically irrelevant conditions such as memory limitations and distraction will performance be direct reflection of competence. A sample of natural speech consists of numerous false starts and other deviations will not provide such data. Therefore, he claims that a fundamental distinction has to be made between the competence and performance. Chomsky dismissed criticism of limiting the study of performance in favor of the study of her underlying competence is unwarranted and completely misdirected. He claims that the descriptivist limitation in principle to classification and organization of data, the extracting patterns from a corpus of observed speech and the describing speech habits, etc., are the core factors that precludes the development of actual performance. Now coming to the next topic, that is linguistic performance. which is opposite to the linguistic competence. A linguistic performance has two senses. One is a technique used in phonetics whereby aspiring practitioners of the subject are trained to control the use of their vocal organs that we speak, that is performance. Second, a term used in the linguistic theory of transformational generative grammar, referring to language being seen as a set of specific utterances produced by a native speaker. It is one of the two elements in Chomsky performance competence distinguished which relate to language production, Pazole, with an emphasis upon this is different from the competence or the mental knowledge of language itself. Linguistic performance doesn't simply reflect the intrinsic sound meaning connections establishing by a system of linguistic rules. It involves many other factors such as extra-linguistic belief concerning the speaker and the situation. This plays a fundamental role in determining how speech is produced, identified, and understood. Furthermore, it is governed by the principle of cognitive structure such as memory, limitation, distraction, shifts of attention and interest, and errors. Randoms are characteristics that are technically considered to be the aspect of language. So in simple words, it is as far as competence and performance. So competence, the naturals, the language system which is already in human beings. In every human being it is the system, but the system is updated when the environment is produced. For example, a child is born in America, she will learn English language. If the same child is born in America but brought here to Pakistan, he will or she will learn Pashto, maybe Urdu or other languages. So it depends on the environment. And the system is already installed in the human mind and brain. And performance is that system which the words which already in mind. So the performance gives shapes to it. It it is the utterances that we speak that is the performance. I hope you understand the topic, so please subscribe the channels and share with your friends. Allah Hafiz.